Servus. Hi everyone. Hope you're doing great. Thank you for coming back. And today we'll talk about smoothness. Smoothness, sometimes we say continuation. It means minimize the space in the transition between techniques. Meaning don't give chance in between and don't miss chance. And some people will say smoothness is as important as speed, or maybe more important. And I agree. Because if you're very fast, but you make a technique, in between cure, it's still easy to catch you, doesn't matter how fast you are. And you also might miss chances. Technique, empty, you're empty. Another technique, you miss chances. But if you're smooth, one technique lead to the next. Right? Bam, bam. You're giving less chances in between. Even you might be slower. But it's still hard to get in. Yes? Therefore, smoothness or continuation, very important in Kata. It's a very important element. Or Kumite, because Kata is for Kumite. So I'll show you main 3 points for continuation, for smoothness. And we learn it through the Kata, and then I'll show you how we apply it into Kumite combination. Okay? Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoy the video and share it with others. Anyway, element number 1. Every time you make kime, pressure to flow. Pressure to flow is for kime to deliver the power. But it's also recharge. It's like as if you make, I exaggerate, you don't change on the outside, but I try to show you. Pressure to flow is like a spring. That's why when you make pressure, don't be rigid. Right? More just your breathing, not your muscles. Pressure, which is energy delivery, but recharge. And now when I release, next technique start. Pressure, release, with the breath. All of those points I'm going to talk about, control by your breath. So anytime, look again, pressure, see my breathing doesn't stop. Pressure, 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 release. And look again, pressure, breathing. I overdo it. Pressure, breathing. So the breath is the trigger. And you can practice it to a simple kata like Yanchudan. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. Pressure, exhale, release. Relax with the exhalation. Yes, let's show you through hundreds maybe. Pressure, release. Next time, I'll show it less. It should be, at first you can exaggerate and less notice. As you get more advanced, but sometimes when you demonstrate it to a student, there's no choice but to show. Right? So that's why everything we do start big and become smaller. Anyway, pressure reaction. Number 2, contraction. Also when you make kime, we make pressure to deliver energy and contraction to make the body dense, to avoid recoil. You don't want to be mushy hitting a target. But that's also not so easy to understand. You don't want to be stiff on the outside. That will stop your continuation. That's why we say contraction from the inside. Or to the inside, sometimes we say from the inside, or to the inside, toward the spine. And chain reaction outward. We said this for kime, but look what happened. To the inside, meaning my stomach and back, squeezed to each other. And reaction. So it's inside, look. Reaction. Squeeze. And again, with the breath. Reaction. Doesn't matter any direction. See, when I release, I don't simply relax. I relax to my intention. To the next technique. Right? And again, Hangets is a good kata to practice any kata. Hangets, because it's a lot of slow movement. Squeeze. So Hangets is a good kata to practice this squeeze relax because it focuses on the internal contraction relaxation, but you can do it with the Anjudan. Stomach, see, as the back, my stomach is going back actually. And then power from the back to the front, the technique. Now I release. This is a little bit tricky because it's not a sharp switch. In the Anjudan, I have to keep this squeeze. Release, last moment, in the case of long movement. But it's a different subject a little bit. Not gonna go into it. And the third element, is the actual, it's imagine you're throwing a ball. You see, you eccentrically load to concentrically explode. And it's from the ground up. It's including the legs. See, you see this, there's a stretch here. Same every time you, let's say, play tennis. And the same in your karate technique, except you don't have the luxury of winding. Like maybe if you play baseball, you can do that. So, internally, look. Every time I make rotation, see my leg twist, but the knee doesn't move, that creates a coil. Hip twisting, from the point straight, there's a lengthening here inside. Reaction. Twist, inside, reaction. Reaction. I can use this twist to go into the next step as reaction. I can use this twist to step back maybe. So I can use it, look, I can use this twist and change direction this way. I can use this coil, change direction this way. I can use this twist, change into a kick. You see, so any action can start from there. So those are the three basic elements. And soon I'll show you combination. Maybe you can practice those elements through. Do it through the kata. But also look, every time you make a stance, there's pressure and reaction. And with the breath, see, I can pressure forward, make me heavy to whatever technique. But reaction back, release, next technique. Now pressure forward. But I need the back leg to press forward. So there's constant. Release, back. Pressure forward. Now I release the front foot. Again, I can change. Look, pressure forward. I can go to any direction. Forward again. Or change direction. See, use the reaction. Back leg pressure forward. I can change any direction. Right? So this pressure reaction in your stance. That's why you need the weight in the center. Pressure, reaction. Also there's the twisting, the squeeze of the legs. Every time I stance, legs squeeze to each other, which is another potential. When I release, legs move automatically to the next. Legs squeeze, 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 which it's also connect my feet to the center, but it's also potential. Release. Even in your Kumite, legs squeeze, 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 release. Yes, hopefully that makes sense. Let me show you one combination you can practice. Easy, easy. Practice all these three elements. Plus, the legs squeeze to each other, pressure reaction. Right? That's how you use your stance effectively. And stance and footwork are connected. And that will help you to become smooth. So let's say I do Kizamizuki. Bam. Now look, here, twisting, pressure, stomach going back, to something happen. Twisting, change direction, you see, this twist become this. See, this twist and load become, in this case, hook. Now look, I use this twisting again, pressure reaction, change direction. Again, as I weave under, I twist, load the back leg, see that? Bam, and bam, bam, right? So you see how everything kind of become like a smooth wave, even though I stop now to show you. But one lead to the other, without stop. At each one there's potential for the next. And you can go to any direction. Right? For example, one, twist, pressure, two, before I use the twisting, to twist the other way. I could from here, move my head, use, see, as reaction, twist, twist back. I'm loaded, twist, reaction. See this reaction, weave and side shift, same time, twist, reaction. After kick, it's a little different. Kick, knee up, pressure back, reaction, to next. See, after kick, pressure back, reaction. And so, simple combination. And make sure that at the end, it's only your breath. Don't think of any of those things I just told you. Step by step, think about them and let go. And then let your breath, bam, 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 bam. Let your breath take over. Yes, so it becomes continuous. And least tension. You know, it's like walking. Every step, create the potential for the next. Right? You don't step and start all over. You'll get very tired if you do. Every step create smart spring in your body and load you for the next. So same here. Bam, 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 bam. Yes, hopefully that makes sense. Of course, it's a very short video. I'll try to go a little more to details in the next videos. Hopefully you like it. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you.